Without good blocking, your team's not going anywhere. Cisco blocks cyber attacks for customers around the world, including the entire Fortune 100 and the NFL. Because when the game is on the line, and it's always on the line, the NFL relies on Cisco. Without good blocking, your team's not going anywhere. Cisco blocks cyber attacks for customers around the world, including the entire Fortune 100 and the NFL. Because when the game is on the line, and it's always on the line, the NFL relies on Cisco.
We got our sleeve today.
Short sleeves, it's warm out.
It is. Been a warm week.
Good to have JC Jackson back.
Yeah, good to see JC. Yep. Try to get him caught up here and see how that goes. But yeah, got him in here late Wednesday night, Thursday. So catching up with him.
Good chance he'll play on Sunday?
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We got a few snaps yesterday. See how it goes today. We got a few moving parts here, so just gotta figure it out here. So get to the end of the week.
Now that you've had Will Greer in the building for a couple weeks, what stands out to you about him?
Sharp guy, good understanding of. He's been in a couple different systems, but he has pretty good understanding of offensive system and what we do, what's different about it from Cincinnati to Dallas and vice versa, and picking up terminology in that. So I think he's getting more comfortable each day, each week. Good arm, pretty athletic kid.
Do you see him as competing with Bailey for the backup job, or is that depth chart at quarterback pretty much set?
Yeah, no, I think we'll just take it, week by week here, and I think before you can really, realistically get in there and play, you've got to have a pretty good command and understanding of the offense, play calling, be able to let the other 10 people do their jobs. So, but yeah, again, Will's sharp, and he's picking things up pretty quickly. If we had an emergency and we had to put him in there, I think we could try to get him ready. But I mean, the other two guys are just further along at this point.
Is competition for depth chart or whatever more difficult during the regular season just because there's fewer practice reps for coaching and starters?
Well, I mean, again, all the players that have been here are pretty familiar and can do what should be able to do whatever we need them to do in their roles. So I'd say it's just with players that are new. Very new, like Will would be an example of that. Or, some of the guys on the practice squad that have only been here, a couple of weeks. It's just harder with those guys. Yeah, because you can't get them as many, reps as you can in training camp in the spring, and so it's a little, unless you're just wiped out at that position, and then they're forced in, then they get ready to play. Now, how well they play and how well versed they are, that's a whole nother story. But they have to play. So.
Cody Davis and Trey Flowers been out on the practice field this week. Just how does it feel to have them back out practicing with the team?
It's good to have all the players that haven't been able to practice back out there. That's what they're here for, and that's what we want them for. And so it's good to see them out there. So Cody and Trey were on the PUP side of it. Reef was on the IR side of it. Different categories, but in the end, functionally it was the same. Guys that have been out that are not coming back. So it's good to see those guys back out there, and again, that's what they're here for.
What have you seen out of Mac Jones over the last couple of years, just his ability to bounce back after a not so good performance?
Yeah. Well, anybody that plays or coaches in this league has not so good performances somewhere along the line. So it's part of the job, part of the situation. Every week's a new week. Mac's pretty mentally tough. So is everybody else around here. I mean, you have to be in this league. You just can't. If it just goes from bad to worse, then you're not going to be around very long. So we all get knocked down. got to get up, go back in the ring.
Bill, Russ Francis passed away about a week or so ago. I was curious if you could share your thoughts about a guy who had a pretty serious impact on this franchise and maybe the league as a whole.
Yeah, Russ is a pretty special player. Really unique type of guy. At the Giants, we didn't play against them too much because they're different conferences, but we got him a couple times, and then we got him when he went to San Francisco because they weren't in our division, but it felt like it. Seemed like we played him twice a year, so competed against Russ a lot. Or coached against him. Tremendous athlete. It's really, I'd say, prototype tight end. Super athletic, good blocker, strong. Good football player, really good football player. Then I've got to know him a little bit, here when he came back for a couple of events back here. Got to spend some time with him, and kind of fun-loving guy. Sat out his senior year at Oregon. You don't see that very often, but in any case, great guy, and really love of life, love for the game. But yeah, he's about as good as we faced. And we faced some pretty good ones when I was at the Giants. I'm talking about that era, like of the 90s, or the 80s rather, and the late 70s. What year was he drafted? Like 70, I say, yeah. So Chuck drafted him, and he was in the league before I got in the league, but this guy's really a good player, and not a wide receiver, but he had some wide receiver skills, I would say, for a tight end. Kind of like Castor did at the Jets. Who else is back there? Back then, most of the tight ends were more like tight ends, like a version of an offensive lineman that could also, run and catch a little bit. Like, they could split Russ out. Russ had some, like I said, receiver skills. Like I say, Keith Jackson was like that at Philly. I'm trying to remember a couple of guys like that, but he had some special skills as a tight end, and he could block, and he was tough. He was 6'6". He was tall. He was a big target. You couldn't overthrow that guy. He had huge, catch radius, good hands. Yeah, he was tough. Yeah, sad day, sad for that, and obviously Wake, Tim Wakefield. So that was.
Dick Butkus also passed
Yeah.
yesterday. Curious if you had any thoughts on what he meant to football in general.
Yeah, prototype middle linebacker. From everything, he was from his playing style to the look to his ads to. He was a Chicago Bear if there ever was one. I got to spend a little bit of time with him at the 100, the NFL 100. At the Super Bowl in Miami when they introduced us. We had spent a little time with him down there, and that was it was great to get to meet him, talk to him, spend a little bit of time with him. But yeah, ton of respect for Dick, his play style, what he did for the game. That was at that time, the way he played. He was the ultimate middle linebacker, tall, long too. He's obviously a great run player, a great tackler, but he had a lot of length. It's hard to throw around inside. Then they had Urlacher, who was another long guy in the middle in their Bears defense. It was just hard to these guys that are 6'4", 6'5", like Hightower, Jamie Collins, and those Van Der Esch, those bigger, taller linebackers inside they're a problem in the passing game. They really are. May not seem like a lot, but it really, zone coverage and all the zones are a lot smaller with those guys. But yeah, Butkus is a heck of a player. Butkus and Ditka, those are your two Bears.
We saw Riley Reef kick inside the guard a little bit this summer. Obviously, he did a lot of tackle throughout his career. Is he locked into one position at this point, or is he someone that can kind of move around?
Yeah, well, again, it's always good to have versatility, on the offensive line where you can have it. Not everybody gives you that, but some guys do. And, he's very experienced, great communicator, understands the game well, is comfortable in playing different spots. Some guys, need to lock into one spot, and he's really a guy that is comfortable doing multiple things. So, he gives us that versatility if we need it at both spots, guard and tackle. So, yeah.
Coach, Antonio Mafi has stepped up for you every game this year. How have you seen him grow since the summer?
Well, I think he just keeps growing through his whole career. Started as a defensive lineman, played 1 year at UCLA on the offensive line. We had him out at the East-West game. So even his growth from the East-West game to the spring to training camp was a lot. And then, as you said, training camp, and he's been out there every day. He works hard. He's a smart kid. He's really smart. He just doesn't have a lot of experience playing on the offensive line, but gets better every day. Doesn't repeat a lot of mistakes. This is some things he hasn't seen a lot of, and the more he sees them, the quicker he reacts to them. But he's grown in all areas, fundamentals, just overall awareness, recognition, and playing against different types of players. Some guys inside that are, big, powerful guys, and there's other guys, especially when they kick ends inside in passing situations, those ends move inside. Like the Jets would kick Franklin Myers in when they bring Huff in the game, stuff like that. So now you're blocking up, a defensive end, a guy like Wise, or, we do that some too, like with Wise and Keon, kick those guys inside. It's a different type of player to block. So those different matchups and different games and, pass rush games. It's a lot at that position, and he gets better every day. And again, he's got a good future if he keeps working hard and can keep working on his fundamentals. Just be a really good fundamental technique player. He's got a chance. Mm-hmm.
How's Jonathan Jones progressing?
Good to have Jonathan out there this week. He did some things last week and was able to do more this week. So coming to the end of the week and see where we are with him, but certainly a lot closer than he was this time last week. So probably be, today, maybe tomorrow, make a decision on this. But he's got a chance. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone.